Walk into a house built in 1955, and something happens before you even sit down. It feels lived in. It feels like someone is home, even when they are not. Now, walk into a house built in 2015. Same square footage, better appliances, new floors, more light, and somehow it feels like nobody actually lives there. You have felt this. Most people cannot explain it, but there is a reason, and it has nothing to do with furniture or decorating taste. 3 decisions were made between 1960 and 2000 that changed the way American homes feel. Not how they look, how they feel. This is the story of those 3 decisions and what they cost us. In 1950, the average American home was 983 square feet. Today it is 2,480, more than 2.5 times larger. We have more room than we have ever had, and we have never felt more alone inside it. Step inside a house built in 1950, and every inch feels spoken for. The walls are close but never cramped. The kitchen hums with the memory of family dinners. The living room seems to hold the echo of laughter. Now, picture a modern home, twice the size, sunlight pouring across open floors, ceilings stretching higher than ever. There is room to spare, yet somehow you feel smaller inside it. In 1950, the average American home measured just 983 square feet. That space sheltered nearly 4 people, parents, kids, sometimes a grandparent or 2. Today, the median new home sprawls to 2,286 square feet, and the average household has shrunk to 2.6 people. That is more than double the room, but spread across fewer lives. The math is simple. Each person now occupies nearly 3 times as much space as their 1950s counterpart. But the feeling is not just about numbers. In a smaller home, every step meant something, passing from kitchen to living room, squeezing past a sibling on the stairs, brushing against a jacket hung by the door. A retired homeowner remembers, "You always knew where everyone was. The house was full, even when it was quiet." Modern houses, with their vast, open rooms and empty corners, can leave you searching for a sense of presence. The puzzle is not just about square footage or upgraded finishes. It is about how space shapes the rhythms of living, how a house can be filled with light, yet feel strangely hollow. The answer begins with what we have lost along the way. Imagine walking into a house on a winter evening, expecting the glow and crackle at the center of the room. For generations, the fire drew everyone close, not just for warmth, but for conversation, for quiet, for the feeling of being together. Then, in 1935, a new invention changed the blueprint of American comfort. The forced air furnace, patented that year, sent heat through hidden ducts, pressing warmth into every corner without a flame or a chimney. By 1953, over 1 million air conditioning units had shipped across the country, promising cool summers and steady temperatures behind closed windows. These machines freed builders from the rules of the hearth. No more heavy masonry, no more need to gather in a single room. Heat and cool air could reach every space, making the fireplace optional, sometimes ornamental, sometimes left out entirely. The change slipped in quietly. Central heating and air conditioning became selling points, not just for comfort, but for flexibility. Walls could move, living rooms could sprawl. The home's social gravity faded from a single point to a diffuse, even spread. The rituals that once anchored daily life, stacking wood, tending embers, sharing stories by firelight, became nostalgia, not necessity. One homeowner, now in their 80s, remembers the old rhythm. You measured the day by the fire. If you wanted company, you went to the living room. If you wanted quiet, you watched the flames. Today, the air hums from vents in the ceiling. The center is everywhere, and nowhere at all. In the years after World War II, a handful of architects began to imagine a different kind of home, one where walls dissolved and sight lines stretched from kitchen to living room to dining table. The open floor plan was pitched as a breath of fresh air, a way to bring families together and keep parents connected to children while dinner simmered and homework sprawled across the table. By the late 1950s, These layouts had moved from blueprints into a small but growing number of new builds, celebrated in magazines as the shape of the future. Frank Lloyd Wright's prairie houses and the glass-walled experiments of modernists offered early blueprints, but it took decades for the idea to break into the mainstream. Through the 1970s and the 1980s, open plans crept into more subdivisions, first as a novelty, then as a selling point. Builders found they could frame houses faster and cheaper with fewer interior walls. Real estate agents loved the way wide rooms looked in photographs, the sense of endless possibility, of space waiting to be filled. By 1990, the open floor plan wasn't just a trend. It had become the dominant way new American homes were built. The architect's vision of family togetherness was now a standard feature, stamped across tract homes from coast to coast. The age of the great room had arrived, and with it, a new way of moving, gathering, and sometimes feeling alone together. Try finding a quiet moment in a modern open-plan house. The sound of a blender in the kitchen bleeds into the living room. Footsteps echo across tile and hardwood, and a single conversation can fill the entire main floor. Privacy, once built into the bones of a home, now feels like something you have to fight for. In 2009, a survey of families living in open layouts found that parents and children alike reported less time for reading or retreating. One respondent put it plainly: there is nowhere to hide. The promise of togetherness, so often used to sell open plans, can turn on itself. Without walls to soften noise, every activity becomes a shared event, wanted or not. A University of Alberta field study found that teenagers in open homes reported higher levels of tension, often citing the constant background noise and lack of escape. The researchers called it acoustic stress, a kind of invisible pressure that builds with every overlapping voice and clatter. Architect Sarah Jameson describes it this way: a house without quiet corners is like a street without side alleys. There is no place to step aside, to catch your breath. The loss is subtle, but accumulates. Instead of gathering by choice, families drift apart in search of peace. Headphones on, doors closed if there are any to close at all. Emptiness is not just visual, it is felt in the nervous system, in the need for a pause that never quite arrives. Picture the old way of coming home. You step up to a porch, pause to shake off the weather, then cross a threshold into a small foyer. There's a moment to hang your coat, to greet whoever's nearby, to feel the outside world fall away. Then, and only then, do you move further, down a hallway, past a closed door or two, into the living room where family life unfolds. This sequence, a processional entry, is more than tradition. It's a ritual that signals arrival, giving your mind and body time to adjust from public to private, from street to sanctuary. In many modern houses, that pause is gone. The front door opens straight into a vast open space, or more often, you enter from the garage, stepping directly into the kitchen or main room. There's no transition, no decompression, no sense of crossing a boundary. The old procession, foyer, hallway, living area has been flattened or erased. The journey home is now a single step, not a series of thresholds. This change isn't just about layout, it's about what gets lost when the act of arriving becomes instant and invisible, and the house stops welcoming you in stages. Step out of your car, arms full of groceries, and the first thing you touch is the doorknob to the kitchen. The garage is silent behind you, the house yawning open ahead. There is no pause, no threshold, just a direct line from asphalt to countertop. For the builders, this was progress, efficiency, convenience, a layout that fit the rhythms of car-centered life. One builder put it simply: people want to get inside fast. The garage is where they come home now. But something gets left behind in that shortcut. The ritual of arrival, wiping your feet on the mat, pausing in a foyer, exchanging a glance or a greeting, is gone. The house no longer welcomes you in stages. It just absorbs you, all at once, into its open rooms. The losses add up. The missing hearth, the vanishing walls, the erased entryway. Each decision made sense on paper, but together they hollowed out the experience of coming home. The result is a house that works by the numbers, but forgets how to gather, how to shelter, how to say, "You're here." You cross a threshold and sense it instantly. Some houses welcome you in, others leave you wandering. It isn't about style, but space that understands you. Today, as homes grow ever larger, the real question remains: are we building places to live or just places to exist? Share your thoughts below.